Hello and welcome to Podnuggets. Now I bet you're asking yourself, what in the hell is a Podnugget, Jim? Well, random person on the internet, I will be glad to tell you exactly what that is. Podnugget is a sweet little baby brainchild of mine that I thought of. Now what I'm going to be doing is telling you in a very smaller, short form version of what my original podcast is, the Podnuggets podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. And I will be breaking everything down for you in a much smaller, similar, short time. And I know what you're thinking, but Jim, you haven't told us what a Podnugget is. Well, random person on the internet, I'm getting there. Hold your horses. Now, as a society and as a group of humans, have you ever wondered why we use certain terms such as, how you doing today? Oh, I'm just dandy. What the hell does dandy even mean? What is a dandy? Don't know. But in a pod nugget, that's what I will tell you about. Or have you ever wondered who invented the Post-it? Me too, because I have no freaking idea who added a little piece of adhesive to the back of a little 4x4 piece of yellow paper. Freaking genius that person was. Literally. So I thought to myself, everyone can use a little knowledge in life. Thus I created the Pod Nugget. And this podcast will be released weekly, unlike my other podcast, which is released bi-weekly. And with that being said, let's get started with our very first Pod Nugget, the term shit-faced. Now I bet you're thinking, why in the hell did I pick this term first? I mean, really think about it. Do you really know where the term shit-faced came from? I know I didn't, until I looked it up. Now the term shit-faced nowadays has been thrown around simply to one really simple meaning: drunk. But why that term? Why is the word shit associated with that term? Do people really imagine someone with poop on their face when they're drunk? I really hope not, because that's gross. Well, according to history books, the term skita goes as far back as the Norse times, or the age of the Viking. In Iceland, it is simply translated to diarrhea, and in Sweden, it is simply translated to defecate. But now, where do we get this term from? Well, in 1825, in the Dictionary of the Scottish Language written by John Jameson himself, it gained a little traction. Now, to the Scots, it didn't have the same girth of a term as it does today. No, instead, to the Scots, the term chit-faced was the term that was used. Also, just to let everyone know, this podcast will not be edited, so stutters and everything will be left inside. Sorry. Anyways, so to the Scots, it was pronounced chit-faced with a CH. This meant you have a face of a child or a small face. Not kidding. They actually use this as a term of endearment also. And the word shit itself, S-H-I-T, meant kitten. Can you imagine someone saying, hey, little shit, get over here? So now let's fast forward over to the 1930s in the good old US of A, America. The angelic term used as a child turns up again. However, this time it's used the American way and is now being used as slang. With extensive research and according to Google, shit-faced meant someone was undesirable under the influence of drugs and or alcohol. Leave it up to America to fuck up a really good thing. I mean, back then the Scots were calling their kids the little shits, kind of like a kitten. It was a term of endearment. And now if someone were to call a kid a little shit, like at a birthday party or at a park, guaranteed those parents would be fighting, no doubt. Well, that's all I got for you. That's your little pod nugget for the week. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And also keep in mind, this is actually part 1 of part 2 pod nuggets. The next one I will release on Friday of next week. So tune in, and I hope you liked it. Please be sure to follow me on Instagram at Botalks, BOTALKS podcast on Instagram. And if you enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, whatever you do on any of the platforms that you do when you listen to stuff. Do that, and let's get the word out about Pod Nuggets. Thanks. Talk to you next week. Peace.